write a one-act play and it's short and it doesn't take as long as writing a full screenplay. So writing a full screenplay can take, respect each other.
Everybody, Jordan Diaz here with BUTV 10. I'm here with Russell Brand, star of the new comedy Get Him to the Greek. How are you?
I'm really very well, thank you, Jordan.
Welcome to Boston.
I like it here.
Glad to have you here. Now, you're from England originally.
I am.
How do you like the US compared to England? Is there any similarities?
We all speak English. That's good. We're all basically the same kind of beings. We all look almost the same, like regardless of whether we're English or American. Here there is more racism, and in England there is more class disruption and wealth-based jealousy. I think there's more social mobility here, and there is more general sense of connection in the UK. These are my observations, like a Martian scientist on his first few days arriving on the planet. That lobotomy picture, it troubles me.
Now, you took a cross-country trip from Boston to San Francisco, correct?
Yeah, I was making
that?
It was amazing. It was from Lowell. It wasn't from Boston. It was from like sort of Massachusetts. Sort of Lowell, the birthplace of Jack Kerouac. I was making a documentary for the BBC about On the Road to commemorate this. I think it was the 50th year of its publication. So I drove right across America and had a lot of my prejudices about this country challenged. I found like even in the Midwest, people were like well up for it and intelligent and very present, and all people that I thought would be slack-jawed hillbillies from the looks of them, like proper people, like people that I spoke to, and they're like, oh well, you know, Noam Chomsky said. I was like, how do you know Noam Chomsky is? You're an hillbilly. Go and have sex with your cousin. Right now.
Mary Jane, get in there, right?
For God's sake, do something incestuous before I have to start looking at the way I view the world. So, yeah, that was a fascinating experience.
Now, a lot of people know you from the past 2 years. You hosted the MTV VMAs. What is that like, trying to hold an audience for 3 hours? I mean, that's going to be, I think, one of the hardest things to do.
I mean, like, it's like, you don't feel like a particular obligation to hold the audience because there's like these big acts happening. You know, like sort of Jay-Z's coming on, Beyonce's coming on, Pink's going to swing from the ceiling. The more difficult thing is like working out what your role is and make sure you don't say anything too mental. Because I sometimes say mad things just out of that. I'm interested in the extremity of what's the convention, right? I sort of think like that. We're always, if things are constantly evolving, the interesting things will occur at extremities, right? So so that's where I sort of try and ponder. So that means sometimes I say things that people don't want to hear.
And thank God for the Jonas Brothers in the audience.
Thank God for
always pick on
this.
them.
Yeah, they're a welcome relief. But I was sat next to one of them recently. That, you know, that thing for Haiti, that phone bank thing. I was sat next to a Jonas brother, and he was nice.
Oh.
So there you go. How it just shows. Do not judge them. They were all right.
No judging here. Now, you're engaged to Katy Perry.
I am.
I heard.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
first
you.
off. How did you guys meet?
We met the year before at the VMA Awards when she did a piece for this. She did a cameo for this movie, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were authenticating Alder Snow as a rock star by putting him in the environment of actual pop stars. Christina Aguilera done a bit, Pink done a bit, and Katy done a bit. So that was the first time I met her. She was really lovely and flirty. And I thought, I like this woman. And then I didn't see her for ages, but I sort of thought about her. And then I saw her at the VMAs this year, and she threw a bottle at my head from some distance, 30 foot.
She had you at, not hello, but a bottle at your head.
Ouch! She had me, ow! Thought, ow! Like, you know, we were in Radio City Hall rehearsing. She threw a bottle from quite far away, you know, like, and again, you know, women aren't meant to be good at throwing, are they? That's one of the things we say about them. You're not good at throwing or running. She threw that thing from far away. It hit me on the head. It hurt. And, like, I sort of was angry about it, but then she sort of came over. And you know when you're in pain and you sort of can't reveal that pain because it will make you look less of a man? So I was having to go, yeah, no, that's good that that's happened. I'm pleased. But inside, I was very angry. And then, you know, we sort of had a bit of a flirt. And
now, I can't help but notice your hair. I think it's a big trademark about you. Can I rock that haircut at all?
Anybody can have this hair.
Anybody?
Just don't go to a hairdresser's ever again.
Is going too big too much, or no, never?
There is no restrictions.
No restriction.
Don't inhibit yourself. Allow your light to shine, Jordan. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're capable of anything with your hair, your body and your mind.
All my secrets and my...
Expand. Expand outwards and grow.
Ever consider cutting it?
Never. Oh, yeah, I'm
Never?
supposed to for Arthur, but I've got quite a lot of power in that situation, and I may exercise it by having a haircut that no one in the position that Arthur is in would have. That's my next movie, Arthur.
Now, in your new movie, Get Into the Greek, you play All This Snow, which African Child is my favorite album, by the way.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, great. And you play All This Snow from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
What's it like working again with Jonah Hill on set? Do you guys ever get any work done? Like, how funny is that?
It's really funny, but like sort of when you're doing like a movie, it's a bit of a, I think it's, what is the correct word? A not misapprehension. Like it's it's not like a big laugh making films. It's mostly boring, like making a film, except for the bit where you're actually showing off. The rest of the time you're sort of waiting for people to set up lights and cameras, which takes ages and ages and ages. Then when you're doing the showing off, that's fun. And then the rest of the time you're just in the caravan. Now, you can have some fun in that caravan watching the telly or perhaps masturbating. But you can't do that if your mum's there or Jonah's there.
Yeah, the Jonas Brothers are there.
If they for some reason turn up, that's immediately not allowed. So, you know, but like when we're actually doing stuff together, it's amazing and fun because we've got a strange comedic connection that I really enjoy.
Great. We always see you in comedies. Would you ever consider taking on a serious role?
Yeah, I will do. I mean, there's bits in this film that are kind of serious.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit, for example, where I have to shout. I did some
true.
shouting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes me the new Brando. I did some shouting.
So what's next for Russell Brand? What do you want to accomplish?
I was hoping to achieve spiritual enlightenment, right, and a cosmic mind, which would mean that I'd constantly be aware of God in all things throughout every interaction. Through this realization of the divine in my everyday life, I would be able to transmit love to everybody and, you know, create perhaps a utopian society where we're all free from oppression. If that don't work, I'm planning to start a chain of fast food restaurants.
What kind of food?
English pies!
English pies. Now I gotta ask, do you have an American accent? Can you put on one?
Hello, I am an American man.
Oh,
My name is Tony, the American man.
What about the people from Lowell?
How do they talk?
I don't know. Or hillbilly. Let's do hillbillies. Can I try my British accent?
Please.
Give me something to say.
Your Majesty, it has been an honour to serve you.
Your Majesty, it has been an honour to serve you, mate.
Not mate, not to the Queen.
Oh. So I always see it in movies.
You mustn't say mate to Her Highness the Queen of England.
Her
But
Highness.
everything else is really good. I was about to say, you're a natural. Now, I'm going to have to stab you through the heart.
Now I gotta ask,
Dishonouring the Queen.
do people, I mean, I know people still acknowledge the Queen, but is she still as important?
Yes!
Because I was on vacation
More.
and I ran into another person from London, and he was like, no, nobody really looks up to her that much. And I was
Who
like,
said that? I want that man's name.
I should have remembered.
Because I would kill him.
If it weren't
The
for
Queen...
Cancun, I'd know.
Cancun, so you
Yeah.
were drinking. Well, no, the Queen is very, very important to us. She's on our money, she's on our stamps, she's always on my mind.
Always on your mind.
Always. I'm thinking about her now.
More than Katy? Maybe.
The same.
The same.
I think of them doing a sort of duet together.
A duet.
Wearing matching leotards.
Well, Russell, you're always funny to have around. Thanks so much for stopping by.
You're
I really
good.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Catch Get Into the Greek when it hits theaters this summer. And now I'm joined here by the other star of the film, Jonah Hill. Thanks for being here with us. Boston. You just threw out the first pitch. What was that like?
It's crazy, yeah. I love Boston. I just threw out the first pitch at the Red Sox game, which is a pretty incredible honor, and it was fun. It was scary. I practiced for a week ahead of time to make sure I could nail the throw and not look like a wuss. You know? I was just like, I don't care if I overthrow it. I just want it to not underthrow it. But I got it right dead center into his glove, so I was excited.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, you're originally from LA, correct?
Yeah,
and
Los
you moved to
Angeles.
New York for college.
Yes.
What made you move to New York? What was there that you couldn't find in LA?
Well, I went to Boulder my first semester.
Okay.
And it was a really nice place, but I kind of felt motivated to start my writing career. That's what I was intending to do. And I didn't want to live in Los Angeles because I was from there and had grown up there and knew I wanted to live there as an adult. So I wanted to live in another big city where stuff was going on and all sorts of fun stuff could happen. And New York City is a pretty incredible place to live. I think Boston might have been the only other place equally as exciting.
Are you
as
just
that.
saying that?
No, I didn't get into BU or Emerson or anything. So I went to New School and I got in there. So I applied to BU, Emerson, and BC.
Didn't
and I didn't
get
get in any of them. So.
Big mistake, guys.
Yeah.
Big
so
mistake.
Thanks, BU. I appreciate it.
Now, I understand you wrote plays in college. What made you switch to movies, and when did you find your first like big break in the movie business?
Well, you can write a one-act play, and it's short, and it doesn't take as long as writing a full screenplay. So writing a full screenplay can take years. You know, it's not an easy task, and telling a full story as opposed to, you know, a short story. It's like the difference between writing a book and a short story. You know, and I love movies. I'm not huge into theater. I just thought that was a good way to get my voice across without having to get cameras and lighting equipment and film equipment, and you could just throw it up on a stage somewhere, you know?
And you get to work with like the coolest comedians, Adam Sandler, Russell Brand, Seth Rogen, everybody. How do you get all these movies?
How do you
get into them?
How do they get into them? They get to work with me.
You can look at it that way. Now, do you think you play...
No, I was kidding.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I think I've been very lucky in my career, and, you know, this film, I think, you know, Russell and I liked working together on Forgetting Sarah Marshall, so the director, Nick, was like, I like the way you guys work together, let's make another movie. And then these other ones, usually it's written for me, or, you know, we're all just friends and respect each other's work, so we decided to work together a lot.
Now, is it hard getting work done on the set? Do you guys just laugh a lot, or is it pretty much like
no, I mean, you're there to work. You have a nice time, and like when you eat lunch or hang out in between scenes, you can have fun and joke around, but we're there to work, and we're there to make a good movie, and that's our main objective, you know.
Now, who were some of your influences growing up, like comedian-wise?
Comedian, I mean, it's a weird word because I'm not a comedian. I'm not a stand-up comedian, you know.
Or any show or
yeah, I
TV
think
that
more, you know, the Larry Sanders Show, The Simpsons, Woody Allen, Albert Brooks, Sandler, Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell, people like that, you know. It was kind of just people that really made me laugh. And then when I met them, it was cool to see that they had the same aspirations at my age that I have. And so, you know, it's you start to make these movies and you go, wow, I'm kind of, you know, around these people that I really respect, and I've gotten to work with a lot of people I really respect, and it's been kind of a dream situation, you know. I'm really lucky to have that.
Definitely. Now, you're a writer and producer as well. What do you prefer, acting or being behind the scenes and actually getting to see your work on the big screen?
Well, I prefer, you love everything in different ways, you know. For, like, I was a producer, writer on Bruno. Did you see that movie, the Sacha Baron Cohen movie? So I didn't act in a frame of that movie. I was just a producer and writer. So for me, it was really cool because Sasha's one of my heroes. The Ali G Show, and when I was in college at New School, we used to watch it every day, obsessed with it. And so for me, it was like, wow, when I was in college doing nothing, I was obsessed with this guy, and now I'm writing what comes out of his mouth. You know what I mean? So to watch that movie for me was really special because I got to watch things that I thought of and have one of my heroes say them. And then in our movies, you know, these movies, it's us saying them, but we improvise and help work out a lot of our own scenes. So everything's fulfilling in a totally different way. I honestly just feel super psyched and lucky to be doing this. You know?
Great job, can't complain.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of this movie, Diddy's in it. He plays your boss. You're the
Diddy's
intern at the record label. How was that like working with him? I did not expect him to be that funny in the movie.
Oh, you saw the movie?
Yeah, we saw it this past week.
Oh, cool,
Premiere,
cool.
Yeah.
Diddy is hysterical in the movie, I think. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I wish I had your job.
Yeah. Well, Sean or Diddy or Puffy or whatever you want, whatever to call him. I asked him, say, what do you want me to call you? He said Sean, so I call him Sean. I don't want to sound pretentious and just say like Sean. Well, he called me because he had heard about the role, and he's like, can you help me get the part? And I said, well, you got to come audition for us. And he flew himself out and he auditioned, and a lot of really great actors audition, and he just genuinely was the perfect guy for the part. And he kept calling me, being like, "Hey man, make sure I get, help me get the part." And I was like, "We'll see." But he genuinely deserved the part, and he's hilarious in the movie, and we become buddies. And he's actually, he has this tough guy persona, and I think he really deconstructs that in a hilarious way in this movie. But he's one of the most successful guys in entertainment. He's a really smart, funny, cool guy,
Now, if I wanted to be an intern with Diddy, can I use you as a reference?
Sure, but then he'd call me, and then I would say, I don't know, I've only met the guy for like 5 minutes.
Well, speaking of that, every movie, or a lot of movies you're in, you always have like these crazy party scenes.
Yeah.
Can we ever party sometime like that? I'm just curious.
Can you and I ever party like that?
I think that's on my bucket list before I die.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
The party with Jonah Hill.
If it's that important to you,
yes.
then yes. If any of you guys at BU have a good party for me to go to, tonight's my last night, let me know.
All right, and Marathon Monday is Monday.
Yeah, I think we're going to do some, Russell and I think are going to be at the finish line of the marathon.
Oh, very cool.
Interviewing the people that just ran it, so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Jordan.
I appreciate it. Get him to the Greek when it hits theaters this summer.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.